I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
The veteran Matt Bryant set to rock and roll. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zadarius Smith coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Here's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he's got it to Hearns. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have kick.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. of the gun. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
Second down, Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And his kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Now the pitch to Freeman. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Falcons will call on Matt Bosher to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They can't tackle him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. A nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Cooper was the target there, and it's third down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. A dump off to Elliott. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet, and we're coming up toward halftime.
And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type, because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often.
They run. Devontae Freeman. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now Ryan on second down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
22.
On first down, Ryan. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. I think it's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. The give is to Elliott. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. First down, Prescott. It's caught right side, it turns. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. A first down throw for Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And oh, he spins past him and into space. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Prescott now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Gonna look deep for Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Freeman. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Cardinals who have the lead as they play the second quarter. David Johnson has a touchdown run. Next, we'll head up to the Bay Area. Check on the Raiders at home in Oakland. And you can see there is the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Andrew Luck has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Detroit Lions. Cam Newton, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quick. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. Well, they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Well, this is caught by Hearns. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Prescott from the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
Prescott finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This will be taken in at the 1. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
tailback. He's got it running left. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, here's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. Connects with Sanu right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Hey, let's go.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s, I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that, but a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
On the NFL scoreboard elsewhere, third quarter down in Arizona. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Jameis Winston, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And they'll get this down to the 10. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back.
And he's going to go down, sacked right around the 17. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he slings one that's incomplete. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And all the way up to the 47-yard line. A big run that time by Elliott. 46 yards. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Completes it to Hearns. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. They'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Back to throw. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
He's got it. And they will not go quietly as we are back to a 2-score game. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Flush to his right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe.
This is caught inside the 15. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. A little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And checking that NFL scoreboard there in the fourth quarter down in Arizona. And give that one to the Cardinals as they wind up winners. David Johnson, 2 touchdowns on the ground to help lead the way. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now...
and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one. Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory. So for the Cowboys, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And for Charles